It's been actually since you've been gone. It's been rather active in there, honestly.
Maybe I should just stay gone.
Well, I don't know that it's because you're gone, but like after Christmas, I think everybody just was like, okay, I guess it's time to get back to.
Well, dude, that's exactly how social's been on Easy Agent Pro. It's like
Yeah.
the last week we've had just all these people.
Yeah, I think everybody just was honestly just kind of taking a break for the holidays or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Or they were like me and said, fuck the holidays.
Either or.
You're a mean one, Mr. Steve.
Yeah, you missed it, Lucas. I said fuck today and fuck the holidays.
Audio, because last week for whatever reason, I guess my voice was really
Because I'm
quiet.
testing the audio.
It's fine now, but on the mic.
Boogity boogity boo.
Perfect. That was great.
Lucas, that
gentlemen, and welcome to the live stream.
Hello, everybody. We're live. Let me just make sure
Hello.
it's...
Hello. Apparently, we have suddenly become an NPR program. Hello. Apparently, we have suddenly become an NPR.
Hi, everybody.
That
Hello
was
and
the
welcome
Twitch.
to my ASMR video. Today I'm going to be chattering my teeth.
Here, let's hear that again. Here, let's hear that again.
From
That's really creepy. You want to
Stop doing that. From National Public Radio in Washington, I'm Justin Clough, and this is Infendo Radio. I'm
No,
Justin
you're
Clough,
Justin
and this
Clough.
is Infendo
Over
Radio.
this.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Doing that.
I'm done.
No, you're not. You're going to do that at some random point in the middle of the show.
Eugene really wants to make more work for himself.
Sure, right. All right, kids. Everybody's recording, I assume, at this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
and my coffee is cold, and it's making me sad.
Hey, my coffee is also cold, but mine's supposed to be.
I was gonna
Guys.
say you drink cold coffee.
Before we get started, I'm just thinking maybe we should change from a Nintendo podcast to like an iCarly like fan podcast. Are you guys cool with that?
Ooh, yeah. Could I be
I think-
what's the blonde girl's name? I'll be her biggest fan.
Blonde girl. You can be her biggest
Okay,
fan.
all right. I'm Blondie.
Okay.
Well, Justin clearly has to be Carly.
Obviously.
He's got the beard
He's,
for it.
he's such a Carly.
We broke him. All right, we're gonna sync up, kids.
Oh, wait.
In 3, 2, 1.
Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom.
Miranda Cosgrove, where you at?
I'm honestly unsure who you're talking about.
Lucas, where you at?
547.
547. Justin.
5:45.
Steve.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, you ruined it.
7 something you said?
7 minutes and 50 seconds, give or take 15 seconds.
It's a surprise.
We'll roll with
15 seconds. That's quite a window.
it. All right.
With the
Well,
day I've had, that's not too bad.
so since we didn't talk about it quite yet, I'm going. Obviously, we're doing the roundtable thing for the reviews thing. I was thinking we do it where, like, I talk about one of my things and then I pass it off to somebody else, and then we kind of rotate it. Does that sound good to everybody?
Nobody wants to
Yep.
hear one person talk for 10 minutes.
Cool. And then Steven and I were talking about it briefly pre-show, but we do have a question block question. I was thinking that we still open it up to change the system after that, depending time. Does that sound
Right.
good?
Yeah.
Good
Well,
fun.
I'm sure we've all played things other than our, topic games. So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
God, I hope so.
Cool. Well, then I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to play the intro intro music, and we will get started. Maybe I should start it not in the middle of the track. Let's try that again.
Good call.
All right, let me make a note. Show start.
I don't even have a Nito t-shirt on today. I'm going to have to change later.
I'm wearing my Infendo one for once today. All right, let's do it. Muted myself.
Do you like the sound of our voices? Just wait until you see our beautiful faces. At twitch.tv/Infendo Radio, you can see us live Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time zone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. This is episode number 475. We're coming to you from the 9th of July. I don't think I messed up anything in this intro, so we're
Really?
we're doing
The
good.
9th of July?
Yeah, sorry I wasn't on video.
No,
for this first
no.
second
I didn't
part.
mess up anything. 9th
I
of
was
July,
busy
we're
doing an
fine.
intro.
All good.
How the heck is everybody doing this January evening? Steven, I'm looking at you.
Okay, so I got a couple things here. The 9th of July. Are you really wearing a Monster Hunter shirt?
Yes, I
That
am.
I designed.
Yes,
that
I am.
Lucas designed that you haven't even got in the actual game yet.
Hey, you don't know what I've got in my game.
That is true. Do you have that shirt?
Doubt you got that.
I probably not. Probably
I was
not.
gonna say, you have to farm an Astalos or two to get that one, right, Lucas?
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of farming Astalos, Justin, how are you doing tonight?
I don't know how to play off of that. Honestly,
You're welcome.
And thank you.
Yeah. So clearly we're all a bit punchy tonight. So this should be an interesting show.
Very. Lucas, how are you doing? You seem to be in a new location today.
Well, it's such a hot, balmy July that I thought I'd switch it up and, see what the world had to offer me. Yeah, no, I moved last weekend, so
You look like you moved into your grandparents' basement.
Yeah, it was the person who I'm living with, it was their parents' room. So living there. But
That explains the 1970s decor, I suppose.
well, the only thing that's theirs is the wall and the carpet. I mean, I have, well, and I guess technically the windowsills or whatever. But hey, people didn't come on this show to hear me talk about my room. People came on here to talk about Nintendo.
That's right. This is Infendo Radio after all. If you want to check out all the other stuff we're doing, just go to infendo.com. You can do all the cool stuff there. Go to Discord and all that stuff. We are going to get into the show proper because we actually have a cool roundtable discussion for you guys. We have received a bunch of review codes for some games. And we thought, hey, what better place to talk about those games than Infendo Radio? So, yeah, each of us kind of took a bunch of games, and we played them over the last couple of weeks, and we're going to talk about them right now. I don't know if anybody wants to go first, but if not, I can jump right in and talk about my little piece here. So, yeah, the one of the games that
Anybody want to take that one? Anyone?
Don't, please don't.
Bueller.
So the first game I'm gonna talk about is actually the game that I have spent the least amount of time with, but that's because it's the game that I also had the least amount of enjoyment out of. So, I kind of figured that, it really wasn't worth my time. So that game is Roboto, and again, it's got the worst freaking title ever. It's not catchy at all. I don't know, but here it is. If you're watching the stream, Roboto, I think is how you pronounce that game. And yeah, it's a very. I'm sorry.
I was just making up my own pronunciation. Roboto.
Yeah, there you go.
I would say Roboto.
Roboto, yeah.
Roboto as well, Mr. Roboto.
There you go. Mr. Roboto, this game.
You're not saying Domo Arigato to this game?
Yeah, no, it's it is not the greatest. It's fine, I guess. You can tell it was a game that was made in Unity or some kind of game engine like that, and it's okay. So the premise of the game is that you are this robot, and then you basically have two things that you can do. Or I guess three things you can do. You can shoot electricity beam type of thing to make the robots kind of go slower that you're going up against. You can jump. And then you also have a water attack. And then so what you use the water attack for is you actually get up close to the enemy robots and spray them with water, and that's actually how they get defeated. So literally that's all you're doing the whole game. You are blasting them with the electricity, and you're going up to them with the water, and then you're trying to do that to all the enemies on the screen. And it just got really dull, really repetitive, really quickly. And to top it off, I didn't really enjoy the soundtrack for it. So I go to games a lot of the time to listen to the music. I think we kind of all do. And then just it had everything stacked up against it. So I put that one down pretty quickly. I don't know how much it is. I'm gonna look that up here real quick on one of my other accounts. But yeah, but it is. I unless it's really cheap, maybe $5 or under, I would have to say I give that game a hard pass.
What genre would you classify it as?
I guess an action platformer.
Okay.
But yeah, it's hard to recommend it, especially when the Switch has a lot of really good platformers already. So it's a good attempt. You can tell it was made by a person or maybe a small team, but yeah, it doesn't really have a lot going for it. I would stick around if it had some maybe a story or something, but it doesn't even have that, so yeah.
or a gameplay hook for that matter, something.
So yeah, Roboto, whatever your tomato
Tomato,
passive.
tomato.
So anybody
Let's call
want
the whole
to?
thing off.
Yeah. Does anybody want to take next about any of the games
Yeah.
that they had?
Yeah, I'll take the next one.
Okay.
So the first game that I played out of my review games, as I'm booting up my Switch and not stalling for time, was called Rockets, Rockets, Rockets.
What is this game about?
Dinosaurs. Just kidding. So naturally, as you might have guessed, the game is about rockets. When you look at the screenshots of it, it looks like it would be something like Missile Command, where you're shooting missiles at an enemy base type deal to blow up the enemy base. When you start playing it, that's not what it is at all. Basically, what it is you shoot the missile, and you're controlling the missile now. And as the missile, you're trying to shoot the other missile out of the air. Not a lot there, unfortunately. I actually had a really good time with it. The problem is it's like a 2-player arcade style game, and it's got maybe 2 modes in it. It's got a Zen mode where you can use the path of the rockets to draw stuff like pictures and stuff while you listen to the soundtrack, or it's got the mode that you play just like with a second player. And I think it was only 2-player. I may be wrong on that. I'll have to check. So really not a lot there. If it's, $2 or $3 and you're just looking for something fun to do while you're drunk or high or, whatever you're doing, might be a good time. Other than that, not the greatest of games, although the soundtrack is amazing.
Did you just recommend that if our listeners are drunk or high, they might enjoy this game?
Yeah, it's one of those games that you play when you have a couple of friends over and you've had a couple of drinks with those couple of friends. And
My couple of friends are
Wait,
named
couple of
Samuel and Adams.
or if you've got Jack Daniels over to the party, that one would do too.
Or apparently your friend Bud.
Scooby and Shag.
Yeah, Scooby and Shag would have a great time with that game. Soundtrack though is awesome.
Sounds like something I did to your mom last night.
So if I could buy the soundtrack, I actually would. But yeah. So
Well,
not a lot there, kind of like my review.
if that game's anything like the first game I ever reviewed for Infendo, the music is probably some like license-free music you can just download off of a website, because that's where I found the soundtrack to. Was it Block Race or something like that? Brick Race.
Yeah. Block Race, I think, is what it was.
Let me see if I can boot this up and I'll preview.
Yeah, I was going to say Shazam it. That might work. I may as well go next since I'm talking anyway. So the first game I played was how very like Super NES MIDI.
Yeah, like not bad at all, actually. I really enjoyed the song. I think it's only got like 2 songs though.
Yeah, it actually reminds me a lot of Uniracers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of twangy, like faux guitar sound that the Super NES did so well.
Right.
So sorry, go ahead.
All right. So anyway, first game I played was a game for the Switch. Oh, hang on a second.
Hang on, Justin got sidetracked.
Yeah, I just realized where the music was coming from.
Yeah, not me.
Well, I all right, just slight tangent here. I opened Twitch so I could participate in the chat and didn't realize that it opened up to a video. So something was going live in the background while I was trying to concentrate on what was going on. I'm back.
Hi, Justin. So what games have you been playing?
The first game that I played is a game for the Switch called Monster Loves You. And I had no idea what to expect from this. Even from the description, I had no idea what to expect. And after I started playing it, I still had no idea what to expect. But let me tell you what I got from it.
I've played it before.
You're basically guiding the life of a monster from monster larva in a vat of monster goo, I don't know, to an adult monster. And you go through, the larval stage and adolescence and a journey of discovery, which is where I left off. And from the description, I thought it would be a little bit more interactive, but it's actually very choose your own adventure-y. So basically what it does is it asks you a bunch of questions about how your monster would behave in certain hypothetical situations to kind of give you a baseline personality score, for like bravery and kindness and stuff like that. And then it continues to ask you questions about things that are actually happening to your monster real time in the game. But there's no like visuals to go along with it other than like maybe a still image of a character you're interacting with or a background image of where the events are happening. But it's all very static and whatnot. But it was actually kind of fun because the scenarios that it threw at you, like you're in a cave and it's your adolescent years and you see another monster that's crying in the corner and you have the choice to go over and comfort them or go over and tell them to get over it and come join. So you pick something and then it leads to another question and you have to go through and tell stories of other things. And there's like a wolf that wanders into the cave and you have to choose whether to eat the wolf or save the wolf from the rest of the monsters or just ignore it and see what happens.
Right.
And so there's all these really unique things that happen along the way, and every choice you make adds or subtracts points to different meters, like again bravery, kindness. I'm trying to think what one of them is that I can't remember what they all are. I should have written them down actually. But so the 10 minutes, give or take 5, that I spent with it was actually surprisingly enjoyable. However, there's this kind of, like light instrumental music playing in the background. Again, probably something from Kevin MacLeod or, one of those other, composers who just does freelance or freeware music.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I would recommend it as kind of a, time-killing toilet game, except it's $9.99. And I just can't see that game having, even if it is a lengthy text-based adventure, I just can't see anybody getting 10 minutes worth of enjoyment out of that when you can, get so many great, like, platformers for that much or slightly more. And hell, even bad indie platformers are less than that with hours of action. So,
and it's funny that you say that because I just looked up the price of that Roboto game, and it's also $9.99. So that's why it's really hard to recommend at $10.
Yeah, I mean,
if rockets.
Like I found Membrane to be kind of a hard sell for $10, and that's a pretty lengthy action-based puzzle game. So I definitely can't recommend this for 10. But if it ever hits like a major price drop, as these indie games tend to do, if it's down to $1 or $2, pick it up. You'll get a couple of bucks worth of enjoyment out of it. I certainly have. I will probably go back to it whenever I'm bored.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll look up that Rockets price here. It is $5, Steve. So $4.99.
Okay. So yeah, if you're looking for a couple good hours of fun.
So now I'm going to try to join the Twitch chat without getting distracted by whatever the hell video auto plays when I open the page.
Fair.
All right, Lucas, you want to take it away? What you've been playing?
Oh boy, which one do I want to talk about first? Beholder was a game that we got a review code for a while ago that I redeemed immediately because I really wanted to try that game. The setup is that you're living in like fake Russia, whatever fake world that is supposed to be, that's basically just Russia, under the idea that you live in this really like totalitarian dictator kind of state where basically the government controls everything. And you have just been elected as like the new landlord for a particular apartment building. So obviously your basic job is to make sure that people have enough supplies and everything, and that the houses all look good, and you fix anything that breaks, blah, blah, blah. Your other job is to bug all of the rooms with spy equipment, monitor people for illegal activity, report illegal activity, take calls from the government, and, turn people in when and if they do anything against glorious leaders' wishes.
This is sounding way too prophetic right now.
It's very interesting, and I liked it a lot. Visually, it's very nice. It's simplistic, but it works well. It has kind of a black and white, like blob kind of style for the characters. There's no like defining features. Everyone's just like a humanoid blob.
Sure.
The biggest gripe I have with the game is it's very much one of those games where you have to like pre-plan in order to do things that you want to do and go down a particular path. I was kind of playing through it early in, and your son's big thing is he doesn't want to be a miner. He wants to go to school and like actually get like a job in business instead of like going to work in the mines like everyone else does. Your daughter is just like a little like 7-year-old daughter, and your wife has like way too many needs that you can't possibly fulfill. Every week she wants to buy something new or, have something new, and that's a whole thing. So I focused on the son a lot because I was like, I'm going to treat my boy right, and, life's good. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you need $20,000 because your daughter has this rare disease and she's going to die in like 6 weeks. I'm like, cool. So I say, son, I'm sorry, you can't go to college. I can't pay for your exams. You're going to have to go work in the mines because we need the extra money. I start planting evidence in my tenants' rooms to turn them in so I could make extra money from the government. I basically like have it out with my wife and tell her we're not doing anything. And I'm still like $6,000 short at the time limit, and my daughter dies. It's like, you got to like pre-plan. You got to have like all the money saved up for when it happens, because, oh God, it's hard. It's a hard game, and it's kind of a stressful game.
This reminds me so much of the end game of Fable 3, where you have to you choose to either help all the citizens or basically screw them over, and if you help all of them, you don't have enough money to fight the war and everybody dies. But if you if you don't help them, everybody survives, but they hate you.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a very cool game. I like the concept a lot. I want to say it's a $15 game, but I'm not sure. It was 15. I don't think it was 20. I know it wasn't 10. But
you said it was Beholder, the complete edition?
Yes, that's the one.
It is. Bear with me. I'm not stalling at all right now while this loads. $14.99.
$14.99. There you go. Yeah, I would recommend it. I thought it was a pretty solid title. Obviously plot-wise, it's very interesting. It's one of those games that's like high stress. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Papers, Please, if you guys have ever played that, where you constantly have to be attentive, knowing what you're doing. And I like it too, but it gets really like it has the same system where it's like more and more things become illegal. Like you have to it's. Those games build, and they can be very hard to play. I like a good like casual kind of indie where I can just sit down and like play the game on my own time, and that's the game where you really got to sit down and focus. So if you're willing to do that, give it a go. But it's a solid title. I'd recommend it. So that was my first game. Eugene, what you got for us?
Awesome. I guess it's back around to me. So yeah. So my the next game that I was playing, I actually enjoyed this one a lot more than the first. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of good to talk about from the first one. But this one, Escape, what is it called? Let's see. It's called Escape from Dudeland, or Doodleland, I guess. Escaped Doodleland. It's a $10 game, same price as Roboto, and much more enjoyable. So this game is a runner, not an endless runner, because there's actually levels and worlds, I guess, that you can go into. And it is really cool. I like it a lot because of the art style. So I'll just put it up on the screen here for people who are watching the stream. It's like,
Oh,
you
so
know,
it's a Meat Boy style runner.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
kind of.
And then so like,
Except
you know,
a little
you
more hand drawn.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm really into this, doing this backwards from the video screen that okay, I died. Anyways, yeah, so, you know, you jump, you run away from the monster, and then you try and get to the end of the level. It's pretty cool. There's different upgrades that you can buy in the shop. There's like it's got some very, very, like, I would say British humor, I guess, because like, so your double jump is you actually farting, and you know, that's how you
Oh,
get
this is a Steve game.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was listening at Runner. Now you have my full attention.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's cute. It's got a really good art style. Yeah, the power ups are funny. Like, one of the things that you do is like you can fart and then the monster's like ew, and then it gives you a little bit of time to get away from the monster. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. There's a shop too, like an in-game shop, not like real money, but like, you know, you get these collectible currency throughout the game. And you can like buy like a little bee that you can be instead of the little guy, or like, you know, like different characters, different upgrades that you can actually buy for your character for like the farts. It's cool. I am definitely enjoying it a lot. I haven't beaten it. There's actually 10 worlds that you can go into. So yeah, I fully expect this to be added into my pooping category. So yeah, it's kind of in my rotation for that, you know.
I am fully sold on this game.
Yeah, $10, can't go wrong at all. It's really good.
No.
The art style is just like killer too. Like, it's like it looks like it's drawn on graph paper or whatever, or like hand drawn or whatever. I like it. It's really cool. So yeah, Escape Dudeland or Doodleland.
Is it dude or doodle?
It's
Well, it's
gotta
D-
be Doodle.
It's DOOD and then land.
So Doodle
Oh,
Land.
Dude Land. Okay.
Well, guys, it's a pun. Everything's hand drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it a lot. So I would definitely recommend this one to anybody who's looking for, you know, something a little different, you know, or even if it's something the same, because this is kind of like the runner games even, you know, but like a different take on it. So.
Well, okay. So that sounds amazing, actually. So yeah, I guess.
Oh, and the music's good. Sorry, I like the music too in it. So.
Okay. Yeah, I actually meant to ask that, and then I got sidetracked. I squirreled. So, okay, so my next game was called Roar. ROARR ! You got to make sure to get that in there. Here is the little icon for it. It is about a dinosaur. It actually has a fun little story. You're a T-Rex sleeping for 65 million years or whatever it is, and you get woken up by an earthquake,
As
and
T-Rexes do.
you go on a rampage. It plays like a Flash version of Hyrule Warriors. So it's got that same style of, you've got enemies going around. You're not taking over keeps or anything. It's not that complex. But you've got enemies coming at you. You know, you're in a 3D-ish world, and you know you have to attack. There's different combos that you can do. You've got 2 different attack buttons. You've got like a swing with your little T-Rex arms, and then you've got a kick. And depending on what combos you do, you'll spin around and hit them with your tail. You can double jump. Sadly, there's no farts, although I kind of wish that was a thing in this game. The music was very, very bad in this game.
Ooh.
It's a very simple game. I only heard one song for the entire time I played the game, and it gets old very quickly. And as you're going around the game, it does have destructible environments, but it's like, okay, so you've got this building that's like a rectangle. When you run through the building, it just kind of falls over like a cardboard box. Like, you know, very, very simple gameplay. Looks like I say, the best way I can describe it is if Hyrule Warriors was about a dinosaur and it was played in a web browser, that would kind of be this game. So if you're looking for a very simple game like that, probably worth it. I did not enjoy it at all. Lucas says that he may be slightly interested in that game. It does sound like a Lucas kind of game.
Everything you said about it made it seem like you were actually enjoying it. And then you're like, no, I did not enjoy it.
It's
No,
only $7.99, so it's pretty cheap. So
Okay, so yeah, that's not as bad as the $10 ones. I might pick it up for $4.99. Like $7.99 is a bit much. $4.99 seems a bit more acceptable. And if it's less than $4.99, just buy it.
okay,
So, yeah. So again, not a whole lot to say about that one, just because there's again not really a lot there.
sure.
So not a lot of variety in the enemies either. They're all kind of like I think I saw 4 different types of enemies. And you see them all in like the first 2 levels, and then after that it's just all recolors of them where they get progressively more hit points. So yeah, you can tell that the person who made it put a lot into it, but that doesn't necessarily make it a great game either.
Sure.
So
Well, fair enough.
So who wants to go next?
I guess I'm next in the rotation. The second game I played, I actually volunteered to take the only 3DS game because I still play my 3DS semi-regularly. So I got Jake Hunter Detective Story, Ghost of the Dusk. And from what I could gather, this is actually like a compilation of DS games that I'm assuming only came out in Japan because all the dialogue is in Japan. Like it's all completely voiced, but it's all Japanese. So that already kind of bothers me because it's as you can guess by the title, it's a very noir style game, which I mean, I guess anime does a lot of noir stuff, but these are clearly like kind of nondescript white characters for lack of, I mean, again, typical anime characters, they look like white people, but anyway, so it's again another kind of choose your own adventure sort of thing, except it's more of an interactive linear story, because while you can choose like what question to ask or what action to do next, you basically have to do all of them, and sometimes it forces you to do them. Like it'll give you the option to, I think one of the things, like a person walked into a bar and I had the option to talk to one of the 3 people in the bar, including him. I had the option to move to either another place in the bar or out of the bar, or I had the option to examine somebody or something in the bar. But every option I chose told me, oh, I should probably do this thing first.
Oh,
so I eventually had to do the examine the person sitting at the bar, because that's what I wanted me to do. Why give me the option to do all this other stuff if you're going to force me to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like a very old school type of thing where it like gives you the illusion of choice, but it's not
right.
Yeah.
Don't play Detective Pikachu.
No, I have not played. Is that what this is what it's like?
It reminds me a lot of that. It's like, hey, click on the thing we want you to click on.
Which would be fine if it explicitly said this is like the Monster Loves You game, again another choose your own adventure, only gave you the options that you could choose.
Yeah.
Whereas this is giving me options that I can't choose yet, so why give them to me? Because you're just I've become kind of obsessed with the idea of respect for a gamer's time. If you don't respect the gamer's time, the gamer's not going to enjoy the time spent with the game. I've spent a lot of time, I mean, not a lot of time. It was like, again, about 10, 15 minutes. But the 10, 15 minutes I spent with the game, about half of it was trying to figure out what the next step was going to be. And the other half was taking the wrong step and having to try something else. And then there's just sitting there listening to dialogue, which is all in Japanese. So I have to read it. If we're going to read it anyway, then don't bother with the recorded dialogue. This game is not out yet. I don't know. According to Nintendo's store, the release date is to be determined. And it's going to retail for $39.99. if this is your kind of thing, you'll probably enjoy it anyway, in spite of my criticisms of it. And I'd like to at least finish the first mission because it has, it's called Ghosts of the Dusk. It's a ghost story. I like detective stories, so it kind of hits some of those little things that I like. So I want to at least finish the first mission of it, and maybe I'll be back next week talking about it. But
Sure.
Just like it does a lot of things wrong and does not respect my time.
Yeah, sure.
So jury's still out on it, basically.
Cool. Fair enough. Well, Lucas, what you got for us?
Well, speaking of games that ask you to click on a particular thing at a particular time, Nairi.
Oh, I've been excited to hear about this one, actually.
It's an interesting game. It's called Nairi Tower of Shirin. Full disclosure, have not finished it, but played a bit of it, enjoyed what I played. It is a point-and-click game in every sense of the word. It is very much point and very much click.
See, and I wouldn't mind. I'm hoping that. Sorry for cutting in, but I'm hoping that Jake Hunter will have some of that point and click explorations later in the game, because that's what I was hoping it was going to be when I saw Detective.
Yeah. Well, this one is entirely point and click. The merits of this game, the thing that sets it apart from other games, the soundtrack is top notch. The storytelling is simple at the moment, but interesting. And the art style is phenomenal. It is a very pretty game. Like, it is right on par with, like, the Professor Layton games and like that really like nice cartoony kind of like, character design and development. It's a beautiful game all the way around. It's a game that you're playing for the plot more than anything, I would think, unless you're just a hardcore fan of finding things in a room, pointing on them and clicking them to advance through puzzles. But if you like that kind of stuff, or if you have like a small child and you want to play a game with them, like, it's a good one. I would recommend it. I don't really have that much else to say about it. It's kind of one of those games where you immediately know if it's your speed or not. I admire what it does right, which is, again, specifically like artistically, it's a very pretty game for an indie game. But I don't really have much else to say. You know what it is. So if that's
right,
your speed, get into it, play it. If not, give it a hard pass. But it's solid. I would recommend it to anybody who's looking for something like that. So that's kind of all I've got to say about it.
Well, fair enough. Well, I guess that means that we're back to me, and I can talk about the next game I've been playing that we got a review code for. Oh, actually, let me... did you already say the price for Nairi? Because I have that in front of me, too.
I did not know it, so
okay.
I was hoping somebody would look it up.
That's me. It is $9.99. So it looks like all our games are like $10. That's not bad.
It's fair.
Except for mine, which is 30 or 40.
And Beholder, which was 15.
Right. Well, I guess I'm very bad at spotting trends. Anyways, here is the next game that I've been playing, and I actually really, really like this game a lot. So this game was called Rage in Peace. At first, I wasn't really sure that I was going to take to it, but the more I played it, the more I actually really enjoyed it a lot. So this game is $12.99. A little bit more expensive than the other ones I've been playing, but it's got a beautiful art style. I'm going to put it up to the screen if you guys are watching us live. So yeah, it looks cool. It's got a nice little art style, but the whole point of the game is you're trying to survive. So like as you go, like everything is trying to kill you. Literally everything is trying to kill you.
It's like Impossible Game, The Endless Runner.
Right, yeah. And so the conceit here is that this guy, he's been met by the Grim Reaper in the very beginning of the game. There's a really cool cutscene that you watch and everything like that. I actually really enjoy the story of this game too. It's silly, it's funny. But anyways, the guy meets the Grim Reaper, and he says that he wants to basically just live out the rest of his day and die at home because, that's kind of his dream or whatever. But he, I guess the Grim Reaper is saying that, okay, well, you're supposed to die here at work, so you have to find your way back home. And so that's why everything is trying to kill you. So, the lights are falling from the ceiling and they'll smash you and it's like an instant kill. And it's interesting too because like if you mess up, you're immediately dead and you have to start back over from the beginning or the last checkpoint or whatever. So it can be a little bit frustrating, but I really am enjoying my time with it. There's like
this actually sounds like a lot of fun. Just it feels like the humor would outweigh the frustration.
Yeah, for sure. It's great. Like it's like so like when you die, there's like this like little manila folder and it tells you exactly how you died and it's like, okay, so like sadly this guy failed to achieve his only dream. It's got a lot of humor. I love it a lot. It doesn't really have music though, but instead it's got like this ambiance to it. So like you actually want to play with the sound on because like for example you'll hear like rattling coming at you from like a distance, and then all of a sudden this like freaking goblin or whatever with a chair is coming at you and it's going to kill you. So like you have to listen for that and then jump at the right audio cue, and yeah, I'm having a lot of time with this, a lot of fun with this game. It's a really good time. It's not for everybody, obviously, because it can be frustrating, but it's cool. I like it a lot. Rage in Peace. It was $12.99. Highly recommended from me. I've been playing the hell out of it. So
I am putting it in my wish list now, and if it ever goes on sale, I might pick it up.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
Like fun.
Definitely. Yeah, I really am having a blast with it. So thank you for sending the review code over for that one. All right, who wants to take next?
That would be me. My final game that I took from this batch of reviews was called Soap Dodgem. It retails normally for $6.89. I would like it noted that it appears to be on sale right now for $3.44. So not much more than what you would pay like on iOS or something like that. It is a sliding game. So for any of you that have a sliding puzzle game, So for any of you that have ever played a Zelda game, you traditionally see these in the top-down Zeldas where you've got the sliding block puzzles, the ice block puzzles. That's kind of what this plays like. You are a little bar of soap, and you're trying to slide across different types of tiles. The first world looks like ice, but you're sliding across tiles trying to get to these little mold patches to clean them up. Every level has a golden bubble that you can collect, and if you get enough of those golden bubbles, you can unlock later chapters of the game earlier on. There are a whole bunch of different characters. I completed the entire first world. There's a surprising amount to it. There are, from what I was reading, 120 levels in this game with a level creator. So it is possible for you to build your own levels. I assume it'll be, like Chicken Wiggle or Mario Maker, where you can share those online with your friends. But I don't know because I don't have any friends that have this game yet. Really enjoyed this. You want to talk about a good pooping game? This is a good pooping game.
I'm looking
tonight.
I'm looking at it. It looks like an interesting puzzler, like something. But the only thing is, like you said, that it's like an iOS thing. I almost would rather have it on my phone. Is it available on phones?
Let me look real quick. Opening the App Store. While I stall for time there.
It's like
I lost my train of thought.
the speaking of trains, that Subway managing game that came out on the Switch a few months ago, Metro something or other. Yeah, I was really interested in that, and then I happened to discover my kids playing it on their tablets. Well, they're not allowed to buy anything on their tablets. So, whoa, that's odd. How did they play that? So I go and look, and it was free on Amazon tablets. So I go and look on my iPhone, and oh, look at that! It's in the App Store for $1.99. Screw paying $10. I'd rather have this on my phone. So
sure.
Okay, so this is interesting. So there is a version of it on iOS. It's called Soap Dodgem Challenging Puzzle. It is $1.99 on iOS. With in-app purchases, which are big pack of secrets for $1.99, small pack of secrets for 99 cents. Or unlock games. So my guess is it's an ad-based game.
By the way, Oh, you already put in the chat. I was going to say, by the way, it is currently on sale for 50% off in the
Right.
for 340.
So yeah, 344 on Switch. It was a very fun game. My only real complaint about this game is the help system, at least in the Switch version. I don't know how it works in the iOS version, but the help system in the Switch version is broken. I'm used to games like Picross 3D, for instance, where if you use a hint or get help, you can complete the puzzle, but it shows the marker that the puzzle's been completed differently,
Right.
like in black and white or something like that, versus color. In this one, you can actually use the help thing to get through the entire game with no penalty whatsoever. Because I beat a level completely without help, and then I beat the next level completely with help, and there was no difference between the markers. So it is a little bit flawed in that respect, but at that point it's just like, okay, well, do you choose to use help or do you choose to not type deal?
Right.
For $349, I have to recommend the game if you like those style of games. Because it looks like even if you were to buy it on iOS, it's going to cost you about $4.
Yeah, to get everything, yeah.
It's $2 to download the game, and then it looks like another $2 possibly to unlock the full game. So I don't know how many levels are in the iOS version versus the Switch version. But of the 3 games I played, this was the one that I definitely had the most fun with. So it was definitely a me game. Anytime we get those puzzle games, there was another one that I reviewed last year that had something to do with sliding marbles along a grid type deal. I don't remember what it was called, but I just love those kind of games. I don't usually get too far into them because I don't know. I just like to do the easy stuff, and then once they start to get hard, I bail for something more fun. But I do have a lot of fun with those.
Awesome. Yeah, it definitely looks interesting. I mean, I have a phone that I can get it on. I'm looking at it on here, but like you said, it's on sale for like $350. Yeah. So like, I might just get it. Yeah.
And then you can put it on the TV when you're done pooping. You just drop it on the top.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go, and just take your Joy-Cons with you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Or put a TV in the bathroom.
Awesome. Well, I guess that means that we are moving on to Justin. Are you next?
I guess what my third game is a confession. I started the game. It is Demetrios, the Big Cynical Adventure, but I didn't make it through the opening cutscene, so I actually have nothing to say about the game other than the opening is a fully voiced and sound affected comic book style introduction to the story, which I didn't get deeply enough into to know what the story is. So try at your own risk, or wait until next week when I've actually had a chance to really actually play the game.
Fair enough. What did you say the name of the game was called again?
Demetrios, the Big Cynical Adventure.
That's a big, long, cynical title. It looks like there's a demo of it available for that game too, so you can at least do that if you wanted to try it out. It looks like it's $10, so.
Well, that seems about par for the course.
Well, fair enough. Well, Lucas, did you have another game you wanted to talk about?
I did have another game I wanted to talk about that I'm going to remember the name of as soon as I open up my Switch, and that name is Battle Princess Madeline. I almost didn't get to play this game because when I went to redeem the code, it had been taken off the eShop. It got delayed. They had to do something to it, and now it's back. It's a interesting game. It's basically a 2D platformer in the style of Ghosts and Goblins or something like that. Kind of your usual kind of throw weapons, kind of almost a Castlevania kind of feel to it too. It's not really or it's more of an open world than like a linear or like a Metroidvania kind of thing. It's like, you have areas you go to, and as you beat one area, you go to the next area. But in the story mode, you can go back and forth and, explore things you might have missed and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's got a lot to it. There's a lot of weapons to unlock. It's odd because arcade mode and story mode are very, very similar, but like arcade mode starts out with like a sprited version of the cutscene you see in story mode, and then you're just thrown into the action, and the action is a lot harder. Story mode kind of holds your hand a little bit more. But the interesting thing about the game for me is at first when I booted it up, I got like the opening cutscene, and I was like, this is weird. They like hand drew everything, and it looks like a modern indie game, but they added like a weird filter to it to make it look older, and they have like 16-bit music in the background. But then you get into the actual game, and it's actually like 16-bit sprited game. So it in all ways, in positive and negative ways, it feels like a Super Nintendo game. That goes right down to awkward button controls where like jumping is with B instead of A. The fact that you press like up to talk to people, and so, like everything about it feels like an old game. So if you're looking for a Super Nintendo game, again, if you want one of those, this is a pretty solid entry for it, I would say. It's probably the most... I don't want to say polished, because Nairi and Beholder were both really good, and Nairi was a really polished game, but it's probably the game that would appeal the most to the most people, I feel like. Like, it was kind of the one game out of the three that I was like, yeah, I could recommend this to most people, and I think somebody would get some level of enjoyment out of it. It had that kind of basic Super Nintendo vibe to it. So if you want to try anything from my list, I would recommend Battle Princess Madeline. And Eugene, out of curiosity, how much does Battle Princess Madeline cost?
It is $19.99.
All right, $19.99. So a little more expensive, but solid. I might wait till it goes down to $15. I don't know. I mean, if you're into it, you're into it, but, you know.
Right. Fair. Well, awesome. I don't have any other games that I had, and I don't know that anybody else did, but Lucas, I'm not sure. Did you have any extra ones? I couldn't remember.
No, those were the only ones I had.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then, I think that brings us to the end of this segment. I hope you guys liked it. It was a all game segment, so tell us what you think in the Discord. Go to infendo.com to join it today. Okay, let me put a break here. Cool. I think that went rather well.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. Good, nice change of pace.
Nice to actually, get to play something different, other than Smash and Pokemon.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. Also, yeah, it forced me to play some other games, and I actually enjoyed them. I swear.
Now, I have demos that I have downloaded and not played yet because nothing is, driving me to do it.
It's nothing like homework to get your ass in gear, right?
You sound like me, Justin. No lie.
Well, does anybody need to take a break before we jump into question block?
Nope, I just went and grabbed my dog, so I'm good.
Cool. We just had the one question today, so I'll go ahead and read it if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
I'm going to level out my audio for the next one. How do we sound?
I don't hear any music.
Oh, shit. My B buttons. Hold on.
Your P button.
Okay, I'm not the only one who heard that.
Poke his belly and watch him go.
All right, here we go. Have you ever wanted to know what kind of underwear that we're all wearing during the show? If you have, you can answer that question at patreon.com/InfendoRadio for $3. There's no limits. Ask what you want.
Collecting every coin, so you
Oh wait,
don't have
that's
to.
what we just...
Infendo Radio is on
Wait a
now.
minute.
I don't know what's the real Eugene and what's not anymore.
So you mixed up the intro with the... Okay.
Oh, Lucas knows what I did.
You're my boy.
Let me see if I... Oh, well, I don't have... I don't have that open. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to edit the me talking in post, which is fine because I have that song here.
Okay.
I think it's this one. Nope. I think it's this one. This one.
You might also have to add in... Well, you'll probably just not have it this week because I don't know if you'll be able to fit it with everything else. I was going to say you might have to add in Infendo Radio is on now on the,
No. On the intro I did. It's because I changed my mind midway through. I was like, oh, I actually want to use this song for the opening, and then I fucked up. Anyways, it's gonna be fine. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna play this here, and then I'll just let it go for 10 seconds, and then I'll lower it, and then I'll start talking. Is the volume still good?
Yeah, volume sounds good.
All right, so I'm going to mute myself, and then here we go. All right, we're back. We are in the question block. I hope that if you are on Patreon, you are submitting questions too, just like Schnazzy One did. He asks, what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Right.
Wait.
Mandatory maximum or minimum?
The question states, what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
It
I'm
doesn't
gonna-
say real sport.
Okay, before we go into this too much, and I know that we've taken a lot of interesting questions, but I'm just going to remind everybody when you're doing the Patreon that we are a Nintendo podcast, and with that, let's take this question away.
It's easy.
Go ahead.
Quidditch.
Oh God.
It's already crazy.
All right, we was disqualified.
Okay, so leaving Quidditch off the table, then it's gotta be hockey.
No,
Yeah,
I got the
Says
answer.
hockey. I'm thinking hockey.
No, I got the answer. You guys are thinking way too locally and not globally. The answer is cricket. You ever want to
God.
see somebody get destroyed? They play cricket. So you add drinking to cricket, and you've got like a bloodbath.
Okay, let's
Well,
take that
see, I
one
was
step
thinking along
further.
the lines of you get drunk, you can't stay on your feet, so put that on ice.
How about what's the one with the horses? The horse polo or whatever? Let's do that one.
You just want to see people fall off horses and break their spines.
Hey, it was funny when Christopher Reeve did it.
Oh Lord. Jeez.
Actually, you know what would be fun would be that
It
ribbon
actually
dance.
wasn't. Those of you who couldn't see the sarcastic expression on my face.
That ribbon dancing that they do at the Olympics. I would like to see them do that drunk.
How is that a sport?
It is entirely a sport.
How is
And I want to see drunk men and women twirling ribbons while trying to balance.
To be
okay,
fair,
so-
that's the only way you're getting me to twirl ribbons. Is by getting me drunk.
I highly doubt that. But Steve, bear in mind that the Olympics is also the place where walking race is a sport.
There's a reason I don't watch the Olympics.
So when I was younger and dumber and drinking, we used to do this thing called a beer mile. It was the worst thing. So if anybody who's run on a track knows, you run 4 times around the track and that's a mile, right? So you have to start off, you take your beer and then you drink your beer and then you run your first lap. And then every lap you have to drink a beer. So then by the time you're done, you're 5 beers in and just like not having, well, you might be having the best time, but sometimes you're not having the best time. Try
I
that.
don't think you could get me around a track once, drunk or not.
Okay. So my friend who listens to the show just gave us a suggestion, and I have to add it to the list. It's a Japanese sport called botaushi. It's literally like capture the flag, but they're all climbing up a giant pole to get the flag first. And he writes 150 drunk people climbing on top of each other.
That's great. But what is
Sounds
it
like
called?
a Friday night
Batashi?
in a Utah bar.
Oh my god.
What is this thing called?
I bet
Batashi?
there's a lot of pole climbing in Utah.
Botaushi. Apparently, it's
Botaushi.
like it's an exercise that they use in like the military, and they've turned it into a sport of sorts. So
Very nice. Ay. Does anybody else have anything else they want to contribute?
I can't beat Botashi. That's just,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, you could throw in, any Takeshi's Castle game, I suppose, but
Oh God. Okay, some kind of shuriken sport. Is there a sport with shurikens? Because that's what it needs to happen.
Oh god.
What about
Well,
curling?
AJ Searson already suggested darts, so that's pretty close.
Oh, but that's already in every bar in America.
Right.
I mean, most bars in America have a
For
dartboard
some reason, the idea of
throwing sharp
drunk
pointed
drunk
objects while
people
you're
with
out.
sharp pointy objects was somebody thought that was a good idea.
What about lawn darts?
What is a long
Those
dart?
are unsafe when you're sober.
They're basically these big giant darts that you throw up in the air and see where they land.
Oh God, what is
Usually the place where they land is inside your friend.
Yeah.
God. All right. Well, that's it. We did the question block. If you'd like to contribute, you know where to go. Go to Patreon. Throw us a question.
Preferably something at least vaguely within the realm of video gaming.
Hey, man.
What's the best video game to play drunk? Anything, guys.
Hey, man.
We're
Snazzy's
open.
your friend, Justin. So, like, I'm putting this one on you.
Yeah, hey, our patrons kind of did their own thing with the question. So,
Hey, they're paying money. They can do whatever they want.
We just
I'm
provide
saying.
We got a question.
a means.
Okay. Do you guys need
You're
to
not
take a break here before change the system?
okay.
No, I don't. Do you need a break, Justin?
I don't know. Eugene suggested it. I'm just going along with it. My coffee's finally kicking in, so whatever.
I'll go with
good.
no
Justin's
then.
waking up for the end of the show.
Yeah, well, I'll be awake until 3:00 in the morning, so
Nice.
Oh, I did the same thing with this one, and I put the dude's voice. Damn it. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do the same thing.
Wow.
This one, I
Damn
know.
it, Eugene.
I'm sorry. The coffee didn't kick in at 6
Infendo
o'clock.
radio is really on.
We got one. The one that I did was
We're
right.
doing it live.
The one that was mine was right. So that's all that matters. This one was gonna be Lucas. But let's go with this song. How's my audio sound?
funky.
It's
cool.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll do it live and you can mute me and put the recorded stuff on in place.
Oh, if you want. Oh, dude, if you want to do a hot take one.
Let's do it live.
Okay.
I'll do it. Well, I'll do it live.
So this one will obviously be about change the system or something, but we're going into change the system, but you
It
can
would
say
probably have been like visit our website. Or
Yeah.
something.
All right. Well then, take us away, Lucas. I'm gonna start the music and mute myself and make a note. Lucas live intro. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
Hey, all you boys and girls, you want to go to a fun, exciting website where all the happening kids and girl versions of kids are hanging out and playing video games all day? Tumblr's dead. Why not check out Infendo.com? Head on over, click on some links, buy some stuff with ads. Visit all our stuff, buy our merch, we need money. Infendo Radio. It's on now.
All right. Well, we're back and we are gonna talk about the games that we have been playing.
I need a shower.
This is the change the system segment. We've already been talking about games that we've been playing, but there's a lot of games out right now, and I know that I've been playing some other stuff. So does anybody want to take first?
I mean, I've been playing lots of stuff, but it's all been very, like, ADD.
All right, well, I'll go first because I don't have much to say because I have done the moving thing, and that's taken up a lot of my time. I've played 2 games. If you listened to last week's show, you should know right now what those 2 games are. I've been playing Smash Bros. And I've been playing Persona 5. I love both of them, and I can't wait until those 2 games have a beautiful baby. I get to play Persona 5 in Smash Bros. But while I wait for that, I'm just playing them separately and living my life. Smash Bros. Is Smash Bros. It's exactly what you would expect it to be. I still really like it a lot. I have all the music now, so I have something less to look forward to when I boot it up. But I'm still going for all the spirits and everything while I wait for interesting stuff to happen. Persona 5 is amazing because I've never been at the second of like 10 dungeons at the 20-hour mark in a game before. So I feel like that says something about the quality of like the length of time that they made in this game. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to getting another like 80 or 90 hours out of it apparently. So that's a thing.
How many did you say you've already put into it?
20 hours. I'm in the second dungeon. Haven't
pretty substantial.
fought the second boss yet. I feel like there's 8 dungeons all in all. So I'm about a quarter of the way through the game and
So how's your situation on playing that one? Because I know that since the move, do you have like a TV that's dedicated to your PlayStation now, or?
Oh yeah, it's actually been easier. I have like a little 15-inch TV that I had back in college that I had set up in my room anyway that I was playing with, and it works fine. It's just like I just lay on my air mattress and play Persona, so it's pretty good.
Sounds so ghetto.
Oh, it's nice. It's very low key.
Can you read the words with that yellow video connector, or does it at least have an HDMI port?
I plug my PlayStation in with the red, blue, yellow, whatever, the red, white, yellow cables. I don't use HD.
And you can actually read the words?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Holy shit.
Not to mention 60% of the game is voice acted anyway, but no, reading it's really not a problem. And I mean, it's an RPG, so you have to be able to read anyway, but no, it's good. It's not a big deal. Oh, I like it. I just want it.
Phantom confirms that Persona 5 is about 80 to 90 hours.
Yeah, I've heard 80 to 100 from most people, but I feel like at the pace I'm going, maybe I'm taking it slower than most because again, 20 hours in and I'm like a fourth of the way through the game. So we'll see.
Awesome. Fair enough. Well, I guess I'll take next then. I have been playing a few different games. Man, I don't know where I want to start. I do want to talk briefly about Mario Party because that continues to be a nice weekend game for me and my friends. It's funny because they'll get in a kick and then they'll just say, "Oh my God, all right, you have to bring your Switch over." And Heather has a Switch too, obviously, right? So she has to bring hers over because we play in the tabletop mode with the two Switches. They actually bought a second Mario Kart copy, even though my friend doesn't even have a Switch, just so we can play that mode together where you put the two Switches on next to each other.
Oh my gosh, that's freaking awesome!
Yeah. It's fun. I'm really having a blasty blast with Mario Party a lot. One of the things that I didn't notice before also is that I thought that Switch had a speaker for some, or I'm sorry, the Joy-Con had a speaker at first because when it's your turn, there will be a buzzing that happens and it's like a melody and I'm like, where's that sound coming from? And
that's
it's like
the HD Rumble apparently.
It's so cool. I hadn't heard.
Have you ever played Mario Kart with the Rumble on and heard the coins in
No.
When you collect a coin with the Joy-Con, it has a metallic coin ring.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to go back and play that. That's so cool.
Kirby?
I was going to say, Kirby has a section right in one of the very last levels where it actually plays the entire Kirby theme.
Yeah.
Using the 3D Rumble.
Yep.
HD Rumble.
God, did I say 3D Rumble? I quit.
There's a difference. It is high definition Rumble, not third dimension Rumble. Duh.
Hey, it's fourth dimension.
Yeah, so still a lot of fun with that game. It is a blast. I know Lucas played a lot solo. I did play some solo, and I'm finding a new appreciation for that as well because I wanted to unlock all the things. So I had to play it by myself, and yeah, that was actually pretty fun as well. So yeah, that's Super Mario Party. Still a blast. I highly recommend it. I think there's a version out. Isn't there a version that comes with a Joy-Con or something too?
Yes, and it's actually a really good deal, or at least it was when it was available. It's the game plus 2, I think, exclusive color Joy-Con for $100.
Yeah, it's
so you're essentially getting the game for $20,
right?
Or a free Joy-Con.
I think it's a left green and a right yellow.
Okay, yeah.
I very much regret not getting that because,
it's such a good deal, right?
I had more Joy-Con.
I just want 2 green Joy-Con.
Jeez. But okay, so then the next game that I have been playing is not a Switch game, not a Nintendo game, but it is a Monster Hunter game. I downloaded Monster Hunter World.
Lucas's attention.
And then you just immediately lost.
Yeah, no, I heard this whole thing already. I just shook my head. Do his thing.
Yeah, so I downloaded Monster Hunter World on a Steam sale over the holiday. It was half off. It was $30. I said, hell, might as well. Let's do it. I didn't like it. I first of all,
No, sir. I didn't like it.
First of all, I was fighting with my settings on my computer because that game is optimized to crap. It doesn't. It shouldn't be that way. I've played games on like ultra settings before, like PUBG. I can play on ultra, no problem, not a hitch. This game, I have a hard time even getting to run on like medium settings. So I was like fiddling around with all the things. Like there's a million different display settings that you can choose, like anti-aliasing, and if you want shadows on and off, like all that crap. I finally got it to a place where it's actually playable, where it's running at about 60 frames, give or take, depending on what's going on the screen, and I'm happy with that. So then that was like at least an hour's worth just fiddling with it. So at that point I was like, I'm done with this game right now. I'll pick it up another time. So then I go back and I play it the next day, and I get to the point where I'm fighting my first monsters. There's like this weird lizardy dude and like a bird thing or whatever, and I just don't like the combat in it. I don't know what it is. It feels really floaty, and I know that I'm probably comparing it to other games that aren't in the genre at all, like a Dark Souls.
So
or whatever.
help me! Oh my god, I was just gonna say, don't say Dark Souls. 'Cause the combat in Dark Souls is so floaty.
But okay, the real test, the real question: does it look better than Phantom Hourglass?
I can happily say yes. It does look better than Phantom Hourglass.
So I'm just going to, I know we've talked about this a lot in private, but if you don't mind, it's a short show, so we'll talk about it on the show. Both Steve and I had very similar experiences our first time we played Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I played it at my friend's house, the same one who recommended the pole climbing drunk thing.
And
for like 10
which
minutes.
one did you play? Because I don't think the list.
I played Try Ultimate, I believe it was, on the Wii. And I played the Arena. But I didn't like it. I thought the combat was really weird. I thought the controls were hard because it was like a Wii remote. And I was like, it's okay, but it's not really my thing. Then the demo came out on the Wii U for 4. And I downloaded the demo and I played it. And I was like, it's not open world. The controls are really weird. It's confusing. I didn't like it. Why do the fights take 40 minutes? What finally got me into it was like 60 hours of playing with Mike. It seems to be that kind of game. I feel like it's just the kind of game where you get into it because other people are playing it and you want to play with other people, and then you start to like it, and then it's an acquired taste. It's almost like drinking like really strong coffee or
eating pastrami.
Or like, oh, well, very recently, I actually started getting into sharp cheddar. Like, I hated sharp cheese for the longest time, and now I start like enjoying it and eating it. I feel like Monster Hunter is the same thing. It's not like a Reese's candy bar. You're not gonna bite into it and enjoy it. It's one of those things that you have to. It's weird to say because a video game should never be this, and I'm not defending it for being this, but it's very much an acquired taste. It's one of those things that you almost get into for other reasons. And then over time, you kind of end up liking it. And I'm sure that's not everybody's example. It just seems me and Steve have had the same thing.
Sure.
So
is there any way we can lobby to get that on the box of the next Monster Hunter game?
It's like sharp cheddar.
It's like sharp cheddar.
Seriously. And here's the thing though. I can appreciate that it's a really good game. Like it's got a lot going for it. It's just not for me. And I think also, and you touched on this, that if maybe I was playing with other people, because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I put entirely all my time into it solo, I'd probably also enjoy my time better. But like, my thing is like, if you're going to make a single player game, at least make it enjoyable for if you're going to play single player,
single player is not.
Yeah,
it's never great.
The other thing too that they almost need to advertise is this game is fine, but you need to play it with friends.
Yeah,
sure.
It's almost like one of those things where it's like, and I know I'm insulting people who like Splatoon's like single player, but it's like how Splatoon has a single player and like no one plays it. It's like one of those things where it's like we added it because we don't want to be Call of Duty and we don't want to like not have an option for single player anymore. But like the single player is something that you do when you're really bored and you have like no internet.
And I think there is a value to games that are just like, hey, it's an online only game. If that's not your thing, play something else. I mean, like Fortnite for me, like I've played it by myself. It's only ever been enjoyable when I'm playing with you guys or with, one of my other friends, because um and there is no single player to Fortnite. Of course, Fortnite also doesn't cost anything.
Right.
I just kind of like, I got Monster Hunter Generations for the 3DS. I think you did too, right, Eugene? You got,
Yes.
yeah. And I played like 2 missions of it. I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. And I never played it online. I could never coordinate anything with you guys where we could, like do anything, because I never had the time to devote. Because, yeah, like you said, it takes like an hour to do a mission. So I have to make sure when I sit down to join other people that I have an hour, those other people also have the same hour, and we're all on the same track as to how to do it. And I can't wrap my head around it. I can't wrap my schedule around it. So as much as I would love to love Monster Hunter, because you guys love it, and Schnazzy loves it, one of our friends from high school loves it,
Phantom plays it.
yeah, like there's so many people I know and I'm friends with who love Monster Hunter. I just can't find the time to devote to learn to love it. And so that's why I haven't bothered taking any of the Monster Hunter sales on the Switch, because I'm like, I'm not going to get even $45 worth out of it, let alone I didn't get $20 out of it on the 3DS.
Right. Sure. Yeah, and like you said, like I kind of knew what I was getting into when I went in this one. I was like, okay, this is mainly a co-op game that I'm gonna try and play single player. But I took the chance because it was only $30. So like it's like, okay, what do I really have to lose? And I am gonna put more time into it, but I can just I don't know. It's just so far it hasn't clicked with me. It's just like grindy for grindy's sake, and that's just yeah. So, but yeah,
I'm not a fan of stuff like that.
I've got stories that'll curl your hair about.
I don't
right?
think you need to curl Eugene's hair, but
Oh, it'll curl.
Fair. But yeah, then I guess the last game that I want to talk about is Surprise Surprise Smash, because I working my way through the World of Light, and that was my least favorite mode, but I'm learning an appreciation for it, because what I found out about this, or it kind of realized in my head, is it's basically like in Melee, it's the event mode, but just like with a world map, So like I'm kind of taking it for what it is in that case, and at the same time, like some of the characters that I don't really know, that you go and you fight their spirits, and then that's it for it. Like I'm actually reading up on him. So like that one, there's this one, and it's all over the internet, but there's this one character from Metal Gear that, like, if you get the spirit, you start with a bomb, and then I guess in the spoilers
uses a bomb.
Yeah.
in a very personal area to blow up.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's getting me to like Google and try kind of find out who some of these spirits are that I have in my roster.
that's kind of like me every time I see a Marvel movie, because I grew up on DC. So every time I see a Marvel movie, I'm like, that character seems like he's probably significant to readers of the comics. So I immediately go to Wikipedia and read up on them. Like, oh, yep, all right, now I get it.
Yeah, right, right. So yeah, Smash continues to be good. There's hours and hours and hours and hours of crap to do in this freaking game, but I love it so much. I have to say that online has been fantastic since that patch. I haven't run into like hardly any lag. Even in like 4-player matches where I have like items on and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I don't know if the same can be said for you guys, but it's been really great.
I actually haven't played online since I played with you guys that one night a couple weeks ago. So we'll have to try and coordinate something, especially now that I've got my my LAN adapter. So, you know, I'm on a wired connection now.
Right. Sure. Well, cool. Well, who wants to take next? What else y'all been playing?
I will. I've got a game that has hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of content that I've been playing. But
so help me God if you say Hyrule Warriors, Steve.
Well, let's start with Monster Hunter, because we were talking about that earlier. I had points I wanted to make.
This doesn't sound promising.
Yeah, I know, right? So clearly there's only 2 games I ever play anymore. Monster Hunter, Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah,
Oh wait, there is a
seriously.
third.
Minecraft.
I do take a break to play. Well, I haven't played Minecraft for a few weeks. I do take a break from those 2 games to play Rocket League.
Ah.
And yeah, Lucas and I have been having a lot of fun in Rocket League again. I'm finally to the point where I'm willing to actually pay a little bit of money to get keys to unlock the crates I get, because they're doing this crate right now called Player's Choice, and it has a super rare skin that I want to eventually get out of it. So I will be continuing
Nope.
to buy keys just to open that one crate. All my other crates are going to Lucas. But
There shall be no skin gambling for me in Rocket League. I bought one set of keys and I'm like, this is totally not worth it. I already paid for the game. I'm not paying for. I bought the Batmobiles. That's all I need.
Well, and that's just it though, is I'm not normally that type of person either.
Yes,
But
you are.
Lucas and I have come to another realization that I'm also not the same person you guys met a year and a half ago. I actually play online games now, which I never used to do. I'm starting to play online games by myself without Lucas or Justin or Eugene. And it is absolutely weird. But yeah, now I'm actually buying keys, only a couple at a time though, because like 10 keys will last me a couple of weeks at the rate I get crates. So it's really not that bad. The other thing I'm going to be doing in Rocket League is getting, Lucas, what is it called? The Rocket Pass?
That is
where
what
you
it's
get
called.
the extra stuff. So I will be buying that because I just hit level 6 or 7 the other night. And there's some cool stuff coming at level 11, and I get extra experience if I buy the Rocket Pass because I've already hit that point in it. So the next game that I've been playing is Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors is my single player Monster Hunter.
Tell me your hour count.
200 and it's either 75 or 85. I think I'm up to 285 now.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I like Hyrule Warriors, but I gotta go with Eugene on this one.
But here's what you guys have to understand about this. I have these tent sales that I do twice a year. Where it's 4 13-hour days back to back with no internet.
Yeah, I still wouldn't be able to commit that much time to any one game, let alone a game that is literally just hack and slash for a half hour at a time.
There's 2 things though that are contributing to my addiction to this game. At first, I was
your addiction.
Besides that, at first I was competing with Lucas for hour count. I've obviously destroyed him in that. But the second thing that got me is a guy I work with that our listeners know as EP Knothead from the Discord has said you may be the first person ever to 100% this game. I don't know if I'll be the first person ever, but it is my goal to eventually 100% this game. At this point, I have all of the weapons, level 1 through 4+, and I have both skills unlocked on the Master Sword. I have all of the costumes out of the main adventure mode maps. I haven't started working on the rewards maps yet.
Right.
And I have all the fairy costumes, and I'm currently working on heart containers and skulltulas. So I'm getting
that is
there.
hardcore, dude.
After I do heart containers and skulltulas, all I have left to do at that point is A-rank all the adventure missions, go through the rewards maps and A-rank those, and then go through the challenge mode and A-rank those. And then there may be an achievement. I may have to level up all my warriors to level 255. God help me if I have to do that, because that's going to take forever.
You could just, not do it.
No, I sense it in Steve.
He's
I can see it in Steve's eyes, like that collector, and you're so close to getting there that I know you're gonna do it.
I'm probably only a couple 100 hours away, and I've got 4 or 5 on-calls that I'm doing this year that come with a 8-hour shift where I'm stuck in my office on a Saturday, and I've got 2 tent sales coming this year too. So there's another 80 hours of gaming right there, just besides what I normally play.
Well, I know what Steve's 2017 game of 2019 is going to be.
Yeah, it very well could be Hyrule Warriors again, depending on what comes out. The last game I've been playing is Monster Hunter, Generations Ultimate on the Switch. Lucas and I continue to grind away at that, but things have changed a little bit. When I met you guys and him and Mike, I started playing Monster Hunter, and that was like the second game that I ever played really that was online. And I got really into it with those guys. That was the game that really introduced me to online co-op games and really got me into them. We put 60 hours into the 3DS version, and then when the Switch version came out here in America, we started over. Lucas and I started over. I've gone from Lucas and Mike teaching me how to play the game to me and Lucas helping teach Phantom how to play the game. And now I'm starting to work through the single player now that I'm 200 and some odd hours in. I don't even know what my hour count is on that one. I think I'm close to 200 hours. But yeah, so now not only am I starting to work on the single player missions, finally, I'm doing those exclusively as my Prowler, which is my cat, because I find it a little more interesting for those missions. But now I've actually joined another Discord to find people to hunt with when Lucas isn't around.
It's crazy.
Like, there's a monster called Atal Ka, which is this...
Wait. What did you say?
Atal Ka
Okay.
is the monster's name. He's Egyptian. He's like this scorpion-looking thing. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the surprise for this monster because it's a really cool boss fight, and I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't hit it yet because it was.
He doesn't
really
have Dwayne Johnson's CGI head, does he?
That would make it slightly more interesting, actually. But I was trying to get his armor, and I needed this one element from his, like from the stuff you can get from him, and it was a 3% chance to get one from rewards for the mission, and a 2% chance for getting it from a body card from the mission. And I needed 6 of them because I needed one for the
Lord.
weapon, each of my suits of armor. So I created a hub that just said Atal Ka farming and just waited for people to show up, and then we would just go in and do that. Lucas joined me for a couple of missions one day. Like, I'm playing Monster Hunter during the day online, like a Saturday. Like, this is bad, you guys.
Man, you've got it deep. Those games, it's a good thing you don't gamble because that's like the same kind of thing.
Well, I know. Like, yeah, I have a story for my 21st birthday that I'm not going to tell on the air. But yeah, dude, like, I don't get into very many games like this big. Like, look at Odyssey, like Zelda. I think I put like 150 hours or 180 hours into Breath of the Wild, and I put like 40 into Mario Odyssey.
Right.
But my God, when I get into a game, I get into a game.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
And the nice thing too about Monster Hunters, that's another one that I can play at the tent sale because I can continue to work on those offline missions. I've completed almost every single low rank mission from the offline mode, just in the last couple of months playing as my Prowler.
I'm impressed. Also a little bit disgusted, but impressed.
I'm impressed and depressed.
Yeah, it's like you said in our private Discord. You don't know whether to slow clap, or cry.
Yeah, seriously.
So, and then we're still plugging away on Lego Harry Potter. We've hit 40. We've hit 45 hours. We 100% at years 1 through 4, and I think we're at 72.4% on years 5 through 7.
Every time you talk about that game, it makes me want to get it because that's a game that would be awesome co-op. Oh, does it have? So, are you playing? Okay, does it work on the same console co-op, or could you also do it like if you had 2 separate copies of the game, each person has a Switch? Could you do it that way too?
Same console only.
Oh, dang.
So,
okay.
Yeah. I still say
it's a very lazy port, but it's a very good port.
The best system ever for Lego games, especially once they went open world, was the Wii U, because you could have player 1 on the gamepad, player 2 on the TV.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just one of those things no one else could do. And Lego games, I would get anytime I could. I would get the Lego games on the Wii U because of that, the way they did split screen.
Right.
On the Switch, I have almost no interest in playing. Like, I played Lego City Undercover again because I loved that game. Besides that, I'm like, well, what's the point? Because I have to share a screen with somebody, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I do have to say though, the one thing they do right on the split screen is it's dynamic split screen. Which
Well, even
is like,
that's not.
If you walk up and the other person walks down, it's a split. It's like a horizontal split screen. But as you move off to the right and they move off to the left, it'll kind of
Oh yeah,
move
that's
around.
not terrible.
Yeah, but it can be because it can royally screw up your like how you control. It's kind of like an automatically moving camera
Right.
where you'll be moving in one direction and then the camera will move and suddenly you'll be moving in a different direction because you have to adjust your control with the movement.
Sure.
The only time we find issues with that is when we're aiming with the reticle, when you're trying to aim a spell, and the camera shifts and suddenly you're aiming off to the right. That's the only real time that we have an issue.
Speaking of time, do we have timers tonight, or are we just kind of
rolling with it?
All right,
we're free balling it this year.
I don't think that's what that means.
And that is the extent. That is every game I've played in the last 3 weeks.
Nice. Awesome. I think you're next, Justin.
Sure, why not? I've had gaming ADD for the past week, so I've been playing a lot of things, but not a lot of any one thing. I'm still kind of plodding my way through classic mode in Smash Brothers. Every time I have like 15 minutes free, I'll just jump in and play through with the next character on the screen in super easy mode just to see what their journey is like. The downside is I discovered the shop a week or so ago. Where you buy costumes and soundtracks and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I've spent all my gold, and I cannot do anything to earn gold quickly enough to buy because I've unlocked all the slots now. So every time I open up Smash Brothers, there are 10 things, at least 5 of them I want, and I only have about 1,000 gold, if that. And so I can only get like 1 or 2 things. Like, I just missed out on getting a Link me costume because I didn't have enough gold for it. And then when I reloaded the shop, it was gone. So I have to figure out some way to farm gold in Smash Brothers. That's probably one of the sadder statements I will say tonight.
I think that, well, I don't know how I do it, is I just spirit board my life away. You get all kinds of coins and stuff in the spirit board, and then you also get the spirits to boot.
Well, unfortunately, yeah, I don't have that option because I only get like, an hour here, 15 minutes there to play games. But I broke down, and when Retro City Rampage was on sale in the eShop last week, I went ahead and bought it because, I need to buy more games that I already have on 2 other systems. I'm turning into Steve. But it's a fun game, and the ability to swap between, playing it on the go and on the TV is great. So I'm just kind of having fun jumping in, messing around with it again, doing a mission here or there and whatnot. It's still a fun game, and it's really, really getting me hyped up for Shakedown Hawaii, which is supposed to come out sometime before spring. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I'm playing a lot of Picross, all different kinds of Picross, Pokemon Picross, Twilight Princess Picross, Picross E2. I haven't broken down and bought Picross E3 because I'm still playing through the other 2 Picrosses, plus Picross 3D Round 2. And playing Picross has made me want to play other puzzle games, so I went back into Puzzle Quest, and like my 3DS has been on so often that it keeps dying because I'll,
That's
grab
shocking.
it, play like 15 minutes in the bathroom, and then just leave it in the bathroom and forget about it until the next time I have to take a crap.
Oh, sure.
So, but so I've been playing my 3DS quite a bit lately. Let's see. Let me look at what I've got going on my Switch here. Rocket League. I've been playing that with Steven Lucas whenever I can.
Yeah, that was fun.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Christmas Day, and so I just came out of is it Mount Moon? That's the first cave area.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just came out of there. I
blew some of my eShop credit on a couple of digital purchases to replace game cards that I had. First one I got was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's been on sale in the eShop for $40. The trade-in value at GameStop for pro members is $33. So I figure for $8, it was worth switching to a digital version because that is a game I will want to have, on me.
That's one of the ones I bought digital just because I knew that's one I would want.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I traded in my physical copy of and bought digital, and this actually took money away from New Super Mario Brothers U. But I did it for Starlink, and I hate myself for doing it. But after hearing how much extra content was in the digital version that we got screwed out of, and I'm seriously tempted to like contact Ubisoft and be like, look, you screwed over early adopters by dropping the price a month after the game came out. You screwed over purchasers of the physical copy by including way more stuff in the digital version. But it was 50% off in the eShop, and the amount of stuff I got, like I got more DLC for repurchasing the game for $30 than I would have if I had spent $30 on DLC. Plus, I got the like $8 or $9 trade-in for store credit at GameStop.
Right.
So I'm like, what the hell? It's a game I enjoy. It's a game I want to put more time into, and it's a game I want to keep. So
I think that early adopters will literally always get the short shift on that stuff, and that's kind of just the.
But it's not usually that soon.
But yeah, sure. But it's still the chance you take.
It's 3 to 6 months for a game to drop in price, or to even have a major sale, and usually like the parity between what comes with the digital version, like the standard digital version anyway, and the standard physical version are relatively the same. Like you don't usually have like the digital version of Starlink literally had at least $30 worth of included downloadable content that the physical version did not have, and the physical version was like $10-$20 more because you're paying for the toy. Yeah. but they didn't tell you any of that, so I pre-ordered the toy figuring, oh well, the digital version will come with all the same stuff, but look at this neat little toy that I got, and even if it's an extra $10, look at and then I saw you got literally like all the pilots, most of the ships, most of the weapons, just for getting the digital version. Like there's like $100 worth of stuff in the digital version.
Yeah.
That so
yeah. See, anyway. I feel you there, but like I'm kind of the mind. It's like I wait for things a lot of the time because I know I'm just expecting those type of sales. And you're right, it doesn't normally happen that fast. But it's kind of the chance you take.
Part of the reason I bought it day one was because I was afraid that, like many Nintendo collectible things, that Armwing was going to fly off of shelves and and disappear. But part of it was that kind of.
Did it fly?
So part of it was that sort of like, I have to get this now or I will never get it. So yeah, it was that impulsivity in me that I have to have this toy, and I'm glad I have the toy. I didn't trade in the toy because I wanted the toy. And so I'm happy that I have that. I'm not happy that I got boned because I wanted it. Like, at the very least, they should have included some of that extra content. But anyway, so I got Starlink, and I've bitched about Starlink, and I've bought Starlink twice, and I'm still bitching about Starlink, but I'm still playing it because it's still a good game, and it was good enough that I wanted to have on my system at all times. Plus, now I have a smaller game carrying case because I only have 3 game cards left. I used to have 6, so I had to buy a larger case, but I bought a new Switch game case.
Nice.
And the reason I bought a new Switch game case is because I have this device, which Steve will recognize, that I think it's called the Go Play. It's from BDNA, which is a really good peripheral company. And it's officially licensed, but it's got these nice grips, which if you're watching the video, you can see these nice grips and a little extra meat on the back, and it clips right onto the Switch. But the problem, and I loved it, and I would use it all the time when I was playing in bed, but it didn't fit in that Game Boy Color case that I've been carrying my Switch around in. So what I did was I took it back to GameStop, and ordered the version that came with the custom carrying case. The carrying case also came with a couple of game, like Switch game card cases. So now I've got my grip, I've got my games, I've got it all in this nice nifty little case, and the only downside to it is I cannot carry my stand, which I don't really need because this doubles as a stand. And I can't carry my flip grip with me, so I have to figure out a way to kind of bring that around with me. But that's a minor thing, because that's only if I get the hankering for Donkey Kong or something, and if I don't have it, I just won't use it. But let's see. As far as other games are concerned, I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight. I played about an hour or two of that. Loving it. Not quite loving it as much as I loved Arkham City, but part of that might be because it feels like more of the same. So I don't feel like I'm getting Arkham City was such a huge leap over Arkham Asylum that it felt like a whole new game, whereas Arkham Knight just feels like more Arkham City. But that's not a bad thing. So I'm playing that. My favorite thing to do is, since I got the deluxe edition, switching Batman costumes every time I boot it up. So the first time I played it, I was, Michael Keaton, 1989 Batman with a rubber suit. And then the next time I booted it up, I was the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller Batman. And, so that's kind of fun. I wish you could change the Batmobile in more than just the challenge modes, but oh well. And Red Dead Redemption 2, still playing that. Trying to think if there's anything else I've played on the Xbox. So I've played some Rock Band 4. Really happy to get back into Rock Band again. I've downloaded all of the songs that I can from all of the Rock Band games that I've owned, which is all of the Rock Band games. But yeah, really, there's no one thing that I've been focused on the past couple of weeks. Nothing that I've poured 300 hours into.
You know what makes me sad about Rock Band 4 is that you can't import your Beatles Rock Band into it.
Yeah. I mean, and I knew that was going to be the case, and I accept the fact that Beatles Rock Band is its own separate thing because they did so many things with it, like with all the visuals and the harmonies and the special instruments and all that. So I'm kind of okay with that being its own thing, but because it's not backwards compatible with the Xbox One, you're still kind of locked in. The other thing I don't like is a lot of the songs on Rock Band 3 don't transfer over, and the keyboard compatibility doesn't transfer over. And being somebody whose only instrument is piano, I miss playing keyboard. But it's Rock Band, so I mostly play bass anyway.
Right.
But yeah, so that's been it, just kind of bouncing from game to game. The majority of my time has been spent on Smash and Pokemon, I guess.
Oh, Let's Go. Yeah, I forgot that you got that one.
Yeah. Let's Go. I'm loving Let's Go. It is the Pokemon game that will get me back into Pokemon games because of all the changes they made. You've heard 100 people talk about how much they love or hate the fact that, wild encounters are no longer battles, and the Pokemon are visible on the main screen. I love it. I think it really makes the game more appealing to me, and I just linked it to my Pokemon Go, so
nice.
As soon as I get to Fuchsia City, I can start trading Pokemon back and forth through that, so that'll be exciting.
Get your Meltan box.
Right, I can finally figure out what the hell that's all about. So, yeah, gamer ADD for the past 2 weeks. That's pretty much been me.
Nice.
You down with ADD? Yeah, you know me.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's everybody. I don't think I missed a single soul tonight. We did it. We've done it.
I was going to say, did Lucas get a turn?
Oh, wait.
Okay, well, I kind of zoned out like halfway through
Oh,
whatever
Lucas.
Justin was talking about. What were we doing after change the system?
That's it.
I did change the system. I was
Yeah.
like second.
I was gonna say because I said
I remembered after I said Lucas.
All of a sudden,
that he had a very
everyone
brief-
started talking, and I like looked down at my phone, and I looked up, and like 20 minutes had gone by, and Justin was talking about GarageBand or something. I was like, okay.
Well, let me close it out here proper then, and I'll edit that part out. But yeah, I was like, wait, what do you mean Lucas hasn't gone? He went and everything. Anyways, so we've made it to the end. This is the final bit of the show, and this is where we hawk all of our wares at you. We want you to love us as much as we love you, and the best way to do that is to follow us on everything that we're doing on the internet. So yeah, you can follow me at Infendo Eugene on Twitter. Make sure to follow at Infendo on Twitter as well. And actually, go to Infendo.com. We've mentioned it before, but that's where you can join our Discord, hang out with a lot of fun people there. Throw your friend code in the friend code channel if you're trying to get some Pokemon Go stuff going. Do all that fun stuff. Where can the people find you this week, Justin?
You can find me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can follow my Disney Twitter at Utilidork. If you listen to the show, you know I'm begging people to come help me with Utilidork. Still begging. And that's all I'm gonna say about that because I got nothing new to say on either fronts.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, what are your fronts about, Steve? Where are you at? Where can the people find you?
As usual, you can find me playing Monster Hunter all the time.
In a new Discord, obviously, you traitor.
Yeah, but their Discord's not very fun, to be fair. It's more of a, business-only Discord. So
Fair.
I bet I've got, 50 unread notifications in there right now. When I'm not playing Monster Hunter, I'm on Twitter at Gentis1. And I just tonight acquired a slightly new setup that will make my capture setup a lot easier.
Fancy.
So I will be starting to upload some videos to both twitch.tv/Infendo Radio if we're playing Rocket League or Monster Hunter or something like that. But any single player games, if you want to see me and how I play Hyrule Warriors, you can see those over at twitch.tv/Gentis.
Awesome. Well, Lucas, what are you all about? Where can the people find you?
Oh God, who knows what I'm all about? Isn't that what we're all trying to figure out? If you've been following my work on my game and stuff, you might have noticed I haven't done much since through the holidays. Part of the reason for that was holidays. Part of the reason for that is because my computer is currently in Texas. That's because my hard drive on my brand new computer pooped. So I haven't had much ability to work on my stuff lately. That said, when I get my computer back in a couple of weeks, I will be working on it some more. And the place you can go to find out all about that is chromatiq.com or my Twitter at chromatiq, which are both pretty easy to figure out. So
nice. Okay. Well, kids, we did it. We made it to the end of the show. We made it through another episode. It was fun times. Next week, we're going to be back with a semi-regular show for you all, but we are going to, as we've said in the last couple of episodes, change up the format a little bit. So be excited for that. With that, we are going to get out of here. So we will see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Peace.
All right. Thank you, everybody in Twitch. We appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, hit that heart icon. I think that there's if you want to get notified, Hazo had said in chat that you hit the little up button and then there's a little thing for notifications as well. So if you want to get notified every time we go live, do that. But heart us. We love it. We need 7 more followers and then we'll stop bugging you. Well, no, we'll bug you about other things.
We're more followers and then we'll ask you to buy a t-shirt.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Goodbye, Twitch. We love you. See you later.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. When we close out of the Twitch to